Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. So in this video I'm talking about how to avoid being stop hunted. You know what I mean, I know what I mean. Let's get down to it. If you're being stopped out regularly, if you keep getting pinged out, listen up, because this might just help you a little bit. And I've been through the frustration too, guys. I know exactly what you're going through. So what do I mean by stop hunted? Let's just define it. If you're not one of those who suffers from it, let's have a think. So stop hunted basically means that always seems to be that your stop is being pinged. The market is moving along very, very nicely. It comes up, you take a short, it comes down, it just stops you out, stopped, ping, and then it goes in your direction and you would have made 200 or 300 pips. Annoying as hell, right? Okay, so let's address some of these major things here now. The two reasons why you're being stop hunted. Number one is your stop is too close. It's too tight. It's just, you know, we all want to make as much money as possible for as least risk, right? That's the game. That's the game in a nutshell. I just want to make as much as I can with the least amount of risk. You do too. That's the whole point of becoming traders and not sticking our money in the bank somewhere and earning absolutely nothing on it. We want to make a lot of money, but we want to make as least risk as possible. We accept it's risky, but we're trying to risk as least as we can. Bit of a tongue twister. But the danger and the trap that a lot of us fall into is we just put our stops too tight. You know, we say, listen, oh, I want to have this position size, you know, really, and I'm going long here. I'm going to put my stop here. Oh, it's, you know, it's also 55 pips away. You know, I've only got 100 pip target. You know, I don't really want to risk, you know, 500 quid. I want to risk less than that. Okay, what I'll do is I'll tighten up my stop, and you end up bringing it here. That's a low. I'm going to do that. And you keep the same position size, but you tighten your stop up. Now, unfortunately, the tighter you have your stop, the more likely it is you're going to be triggered. It's just as simple as that. Yes, there are certain conditions, certain conditions where you really can go tight on some setups. I appreciate that, I accept that, but generally speaking, on a broad sense, the tighter your stop, the more frequently you're going to get stopped out. So it feels like you're being stop hunted. In reality, you know, in that kind of scenario here, we should have half the position size but twice the stop length and have it in a stop. Now, stops should be in a place, you probably know this as well, guys, is that it should be in a place where the premise of the trade is negated if you get stopped. That's it. That's as simple as that. You know, if the market comes to your level and takes you stopped, the premise, i.e., I think this double bottom is going to hold, I think this is a pullback, I think this is a resistance level, whatever it may be, that's your premise. There should be a point with a premise where the trade is no longer valid. However, let's just add number two, which is you are putting your stop in the same place as everybody else. Same place as everybody else. Now, why is that a problem? Listen, guys, I know, and you probably know this as well, markets hunt for liquidity. There's not a cartel as such pinging your stops, but you know, if you think about the pure way that markets work, you know, they're going to go to a high, buyers are going to push it up, sellers are going to wait. You know, they find liquidity here. It causes a little bit of a burst higher because there's a lot of buy stops here. A lot of people are getting involved. A little bit, there's more than there was kind of here. And then it runs out. It's like, who's left to buy? You know, is it sustainable buying? Okay, sometimes you're going to get a complete blast of highs. Of course you are. But because you've got that flurry of buys, is that it? Who's left to buy? Rolls back over. So we talk about going short resistance, talk about buying at support, and we talked about your stops being too close or tight. But you've also got to remember that everybody else, let's leave that one up there, if I can get a red pen, everybody else who is going short on this trade is putting their stop here. So you need to think ahead of the game here. You need to either say to yourself, listen, and we've talked about setups and stuff before, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but we either kind of say to ourselves, listen, let the stops get stopped out and then go in, or take advantage of those stops, enter with the stops, and then put a stop above them. Does that make sense? Probably not. Let me do an explanation. Right, so instead of us going short here, that's our one option. We can do that, but if we do that, we need to not be putting our stop with everybody else. We need to have our stop up here. So then it's way up, it's way out of the way. And the trouble of that, of course, is the risk reward gets skewed. You might not want to take that risk. So what's your other option? Your other option is, you know what? Let me wait and see the other retail fools getting stopped out. Fools a bit harsh, but you get the idea. Let them get stopped out there. That's their getting stopped out. Let it come back under, and then I will take the short. So I need an extra layer of confirmation before I hit the short. Not just waiting for your number one, not just waiting for your number two, but waiting for it to come up, fail, stops get pinged, everyone moaning they're getting stopped, comes back in, then you're in the game, then you're playing it, then you're trading it. So that's an option, and that's a very, very powerful one to do. Now, third and final one is, we can see this kind of weird chart I've drawn here. Yeah, whatever, we get the idea. The third and final one is that you put your limit, or you enter into where people are putting the stops. So the obvious one on this, let's redraw it so we can see, on this really rough example of a kind of a double top position, is that, you know, everyone's going short here, aren't they, in this little kind of fuzzy zone, and everyone's putting their stops here. You put your limit here, and you put your stop a layer up. You know, you move the whole trade, bracket the whole trade, and move it up a block. That is going to mean you haven't got to stop where everyone else is. If it goes on a stop hunting exercise, you're the one who is taking the stops and on the right end of it, and you'll be the one that catches the top the right way around, as in your limit gets filled, it rolls over, and very nicely, thank you very much. Now, of course, if it breaks out, you've still got your risk capped and it's fine. And now also, of course, you do have times where it just kisses that and rolls over. But the point is, guys, is that if you are being stop hunted regularly and you find that that's a regular occurrence, you need to take steps to reduce it. Simple as that. You want to improve on it, you've got to make some changes. If you find that you're getting stopped out constantly, then try one of these things. Try, say, you know what, I won't take it until it does the stop and then comes back, or I'll bracket my whole trade up here into the stop position, you know, or I will do a wider stop. Wider stop, obviously, you end up changing the risk and the whole parameters of the trade. So really, it's just these two, isn't it? It's a case of selling into where you have your stop instead of earlier, and being prepared to miss some, because of course, a lot of them are going to turn before that. Or, you know, you just bracket it the other way around. So if that's been a problem to you, try that. Number one is obviously the first thing, don't be too close or too tight. And then just think like, you know, to put the whole flip the whole trade on its head and say, okay, well, I'll enter where my stop would normally be, and I'll have my stop an extra layer above it, and see how you get on with that. Try it out and see if you still get stop hunted. Let me know in the comments below, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos from me and other traders on this channel. Take care. Bye bye.